Okay, so we're going to start off talking about cadential 6/4 chords, and in fact, a lot of this class is going to be about the cadential 6/4. Now, why would I have a whole class about one bloody chord? And it's because it's pretty weird. And you might find this a little frustrating. So we're at the point in music theory where things are not always as they seem. And in particular, what that means is that the notes alone might not tell us the correct analysis for a chord, and we need to look at the context a little bit. Let me give you an example. Here's a little ditty that I just whipped up. This is just kind of a nothing thing, but I want to focus on this cadence that's happening right here. Okay, little half cadence. So let's analyze this. Let me get some text up. Okay, so we're in the key of D major. We have two treble clefs here. So we have D, A, D and A at first, and then an F and an A. So we're still on D major in all four of these notes. Here we have a D and an A, an F sharp, and an F sharp. So this first two beats is all D major. So let's call this one. Okay, here we have G, E, and there's another E, there's a B. So G, E, and B, E, B, B, E, E. Okay, so all 8 of these notes here basically are G, E, and B. So what chord is that? E, G, B would spell it in third. So that's a 2 chord. E, G, B. Okay, so let's take this, put it here, and call it a 2 chord. Okay, now let's look at what's happening here. So the notes we have on this downbeat are A, D, and F sharp. Okay, so that's a 1 chord, right? D, F, A. The notes we have here are C and E. So we only, and A, right? Because A is still continuing on. So A, C, E is the 5 chord, right? So we ended on a 5 chord here. So that means it's a half cadence, which is nice. Okay, so here we are. A little half cadence. It's nice, it's pretty, it's unresolved. That's how half cadences work. But what if I was to tell you that this is not a 1 chord? It's not. That is not a 1 chord. Even though the notes in the 1 chord, the key of D, are D, F sharp, and A, and what we have here is D, F sharp, and A, it is not a 1 chord. It's not. It's called a cadential 6/4, and it's kind of a 5 chord, actually. Now, there are debates. I've seen different ways of teaching music theory, and some people teach it as calling this a 1/6/4, and some people teach it calling it a 5/6/4. We're going to call it a 5/6/4 because that seems to be the most common. I think calling it a 1/6/4 is getting to be kind of rare. So, but really, at the end of the day, everyone's calling it a cadential 6/4. And so here's what that means. Here's how you would label it. You do it like this. And then you would go like this. This is our inversion. So I want to make that a little bit smaller. So we call this 6/4 as the inversion. And you're like, that's not a 5/6/4, right? That doesn't make any sense because this is clearly a 1. But hold your horses here. 6/4 5/3, and then we would draw a little line in between them, which I don't think I can easily do. So here we have 6/4 5/3, meaning that we're going to treat this whole thing like a 5 chord that's going 6/4 5/3. It's resolving to a 5-5-3, which is a root position 5 chord, right? Because that A is on the bottom. So this is what we're dealing with here. This cadential 6-4 business. Is it a 1? Is it a 5? Well, we have to look at the context. And let's dive into that first. And let's talk about the chord function. And let's do that in a new video. So if this doesn't make sense why this is a 5-6-4 chord, don't worry about it. We're going to figure out all of that as we continue. So what I'm saying here is, why is this a 5-6-4 chord? Hold on, and we're going to learn why we call it that, and then a whole bunch of uses for it. So let's talk about function next.